Welcome into the Crypto Bunker podcast. Just wanted to say and talk about crypto real quick with you guys. I know I don't really make videos too much anymore, but we're obviously in the bull cycle, and it's important to understand where we're at and where we're headed, so that you can help make your family money, secure your future, so you can live a better life. Um, it's hard because we've been put in this situation um, by the system, basically, that we have to essentially, as a millennial, as a Gen Z, as anyone pretty much below 45, um, you're pretty much screwed from the financial system. You're basically stuck in a 9 to 5 job and forever, it seems like, right? It's like um there's less opportunities for to create businesses, but I think all that's changing. I think with Trump as the president, I think a lot of private sector jobs will come back, government jobs will go away, and actual productivity and innovation will come from from a Trump presidency, and that includes crypto. And so what we have with Trump is we have someone who is going to be supportive of the industry. He picked Scott Bessent as his Treasury Secretary. Um, he picked he's picked people already who have shown to be pro crypto. And Scott Bessent basically said crypto is the future. He said, young people need optimism in their lives. And that's basically what I'm saying now is like basically what Scott Bessent said is that, the average person has given up on the markets. They don't believe the markets are real. They think it's rigged. They don't believe in the system of markets. They may put money away in their 401k, but they're not really interested in it. They're not doing research on it. They're not trying to figure out, what's the next good trade. Now, there are some people that do that. There's a retail crowd of investors that have come in since 2020 that have a lot of money to move around. But with crypto, it's different. It's a social community of people who are looking to decentralize the power and the control of the financial system and of money in general. And with these pro crypto politicians coming in, and it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats. I mean, I think the pro crypto pack that was put together, it was one of the biggest of all time. They're the top donors to Congress now. They've donated on both sides of the aisle. So, and they're going to be watched, by the people who have donated to them, right? So, the pro crypto, pack is, I think, the biggest lobbying fund, is, and it's helped to get many of these races swung to positive crypto people who are going to be coming in. We have a president who has talked about a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We have people in Congress who have a bill written for a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And we have a culmination of, a fourth turning, like I kind of talked about before. There's a whole generation of people who feel like they've been left behind, and that crypto is like this visceral thing, and I think people in the deepest sense of their nature understand that this is the last chance, and there's really nothing else. Like, this is the last frontier. Um, we're headed west, like Bankless says. It's not for everyone. You could lose your investment, but we're going to do it anyway because we know that this is the only way out. And when you know that, you have to go all in. none of this is financial advice, but this is it, guys. Um, this is the opportunity that we've been waiting for. Don't listen to the day-to-day people trading and people thinking that things are scams and who knows, what people are going to say. And yes, I will get into some coins that I think will do really well this cycle, but um, don't let the small stuff, concern you. Because we're playing a bigger game. We're playing a macro game. And essentially we're transforming the financial system into crypto. And this gives people hope. And I think it's a good thing, you know. I think the ingenuity, all the pain, the suffering. I mean, the thing about it too is that once these things get going, they just squeeze. They squeeze higher and higher. Because there's so many people, like I said, who they know that crypto is the last shot. And there's many people who've been hurt in the crypto ecosystem, and all of that pain, it kind of just squeezes up. And you can see it in the Ethereum chart. I mean, how many people have said in the past 12 months that Ethereum is dead? And, you know, at the end of the day, though, the new financial system is going to be built on Ethereum because it's the oldest, most reliable, most decentralized, most neutral, credible, decentralized smart contract platform. That is the one. And other EVM chains will also be used because there's more EVM developers. Like Avalanche's EVM. There's more EVM developers. Solana is kind of like Apple, and Ethereum is like Microsoft. And I'm not saying that, you know, in terms of like future market caps or whatever, but more just like the consumer sort of retail side and then like the business side, right? And Ethereum is the business side. And I think in the future, that holds a lot more weight than the consumer side. Yes, retail can go play their casino games and meme coins. Businesses are going to actually be, you know, doing real world assets on chain, huge things, equities on chain, big, massive industries that are going to be tokenized on chain. This is where you go to Ethereum. You build an L2, you build your own layer two solution. Many companies will do this. I think Sony is building an L2. You can see a lot of these companies doing this. And that's where I think optimism, the vision of the super chain for them, it seems like they basically are pulling in everyone, not only decentralized projects like Uniswap, WorldCoin, they have Coinbase, they have Kraken, they have them all. They've won the layer two game. And people are going to be building with their framework for the future. I think that coin is very, very interesting. I haven't looked at the chart, but I know on a macro time frame, I believe that thing can moon. Because what if BlackRock comes in and says, "Hey, what's the best layer two framework for us to use?" Yeah, we're going to hop on the super chain because it has the most liquidity. It has the most Coinbases on it. Coinbase. We're talking about Coinbase. Like, so that's one project that I think is bullish. Then you have another altcoin, which is slightly bigger market cap, which is BitTensor or Tau. Um, BitTensor is basically an AI project on the blockchain, but it's like 60 different projects, and like it just keeps growing because there's unlimited subnets that are built on top of this BitTensor network. And the network basically provides the ability for miners doing proof of work. Actually, it's probably more a term of proof of intelligence. So we have miners doing proof of intelligence work. You have validators who are validating that work, and then people getting paid to stake their Tau with these validators. Um, and the token supply is, capped at 21 million as a shout out to Bitcoin, essentially. And really, I think the BitTensor chart, um, it looks like Bitcoin in 2017. The chart, it looks, and also it looks like Ethereum in 2020. When Ethereum was, November, December 2020, it was 400, 500, $600, just like BitSensor. So it's kind of like that same range of number. And I think BitTensor has a chance to do a 10x from here. And I have a target on BitTensor of $4,000. At that point, we'd be about a $30 billion market cap, which I think, and then fully diluted, probably like 80 billion. And I think that's like conservative enough, but not too crazy. Where I think you can be totally happy with that return, and you can pack it up, and I really don't think it'll take that long. I think actually this market to me looks just like 2020. There's no doubt about it. We have Trump coming in, we have the inauguration, we have this like new like growth, like an emphasis on growth, an emphasis on crypto. They're going to put things in right away. They're going to slash bad executive orders. They're going to pump the markets. This is going to be the biggest pump of our lives. And I actually think it's going to start in December. I think by next week, this time, Bitcoin will be at 100K, or no, sorry, in about, let's call it a week and a half's time, or about 2 weeks time. I think we'll be above 120K for Bitcoin. We're going to close the year probably 120 to 150K. And then it's only up from there. I mean, we could correct back down to 120, 110. What you need to watch though for in bull markets, and maybe I can pull up the charts here, um, potentially. I don't know if I want to, because I think that if you listen, you'll understand what I'm saying. But you know, um, but it is good to look at them, so I might pull them up. But you basically all you have to do is track the 20-week SMA for Bitcoin. As long as it doesn't close, like a candle below the 20-week SMA, we're good. We're in the bull market, and that's really at like 80K right now. But another indicator you can look at is the 20-day SMA. Right now, we're testing the 20-day SMA, and if you look back to 2020, we actually never went below the 20-day SMA, essentially. Essentially, we never went below it. So let's take a look here at the charts, and I'm going to increase my brightness. I know I was on a pretty good rant there, so I'm going to keep ranting, about the bull here. So no worries. Um, but let's get into a little bit better of a lighting here, potentially. Um, all right. Hopefully this works. Um, so what we can do is just go to the moving averages. And we look at Bitcoin, we're basically at the 20-day moving average. So what we can say is, we're testing this trend line. It's the 20-day. And we look back at 2020. We can look back and see essentially where I think we're at is right around here. And it's the same exact time. It's literally 4 years ago, like to the day, is where we were at. And yes, we closed a few below the 20-day, and even here we went to the 50-day, but all the way up. We never really lost the 50-day. and we barely lost the 20-day, especially during this moon period. And that's kind of where I think we're headed. I mean, you can see we absolutely mooned from December through January. And this is when Biden's getting inaugurated, for goodness sake. I mean, we're talking about Trump getting inaugurated. Um, let's go back to the last Trump inauguration. Um, you know, around this time frame, right? So we had this is December of 16, which is 8 years ago. You had the same thing. We never lost the 20-day. We went through January, we absolutely mooned. Okay, we went up from like 700 to 1200. Then we came back and yes, it was more volatile back then, but we never lost the structure. We never lost the trend lines. This is what you have to understand. We can even look at the weekly moving averages and, we never lost that 20 week ever. And I'm not even sure that Bitcoin will hit the 20 week again. Um, for in the short term, I think it will hit it, within the next 6 months. But I'm not saying I don't think it will hit it like within the next because it's so far beyond it now. It's just hard to imagine that it could. It could though, it could. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, this cycle to me, it could easily be a 2017 type cycle, where we just moon, like we're set up to do it. This is the chance to do it. And this is kind of the layout that I see as possible. I mean, we're talking about by the end of March being at 300K. That's how bullish I think we are. Um, it's an asymmetric bet. There's a huge asymmetry to all this, mainly because, you know, we have mainly because of the Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? I mean, we're talking about, that potential is just massive. It's a massive potential. Um, so yeah, I think, let me see if I can find. So yeah, is it this one? I mean, BitTensor, it like I said, it looks exactly like Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin chart, okay, from 12 to 2017. It's essentially a compressed version of this chart. You can even see like down here, obviously it's not going to be exact, but it's the same structure down here. We got a moon, we got a double moon, we have a huge correction chop. Um, and then if we zoom up, we can see how eerily equivalent this is. And, we have a chop correction here, almost exact. And now we're looking at a moon show and, we're looking at this says 10K by the end of May. And that would be like altcoin season, right? Like, so usually Bitcoin will go till about April. We have tax season, we have a sell-off, and then, and then, the alts run hard. Um, Now, will this all happen potentially? I don't know. If it will go till next year, just like that's a whole nother cycle. But all we have to worry about for Tau and all the altcoins really is the next like 5, 6 months, all the way through about to the beginning of May. One coin that we can look at as that did almost exactly what I think will happen with BitTensor is Uniswap. This Uniswap chart, if I look at it on the daily time frame, it essentially is the same chart. Not perfect, but basically this structure here, right here, is what we're seeing. We saw a moon, bam, 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 and then we go and we can see it topped. End of the same thing, end of April, beginning of May. We topped and we 10x'd. It's the same thing. So I think that these altcoins all trade the same. It doesn't really matter. They get overvalued. There's no revenue, and then it crashes back down, right? So Tau is an early stage investment, very volatile. Um, it will make you crazy if you look at the chart too much. But you can stake it. You can stake it with Tau stats. Okay, you can buy Tau. You can buy wrap Tau on Uniswap with ETH. Then you can bridge that Tau over with taubridge.xyz. And then you can, well, I can actually show you the Tau bridge here just to make sure. So that's the link. You want to do taubridge.xyz. You want to connect your wallet. You want to bridge over to the BitTensor network. You need a Talisman wallet. Okay, so you're going to want a Talisman wallet. See if I can pull that up. This website always is kind of slow. So yeah, right here you can see a Talisman wallet. I'm not going to click on it. I don't want to show my coins or anything. But yeah, you can do that. And then you can go to taustats.io and you can then stake with them. So I think, let's see if this is Tau, or you can go to tauyield.com as well, tauyield.com/stake. And you can see who is the best stats. Right now, I'm getting like 20% on Tau, which is pretty crazy. So if it goes till May, I could have like a whole nother extra Tau potentially that I could, sell or have to sell at that point. So for me, this is just a trade. And right now, we are bullish on all fronts. I can show you guys my Hedgeye, which like I trust these guys with everything I have. Like honestly, they are the best in the business. There's no doubt in my mind. And they are bullish across the board. We have the top end of the risk range, I think is around 99,000 for Bitcoin, but like we can blast through risk ranges. Like it's not a big deal. It's Bitcoin. So let me just actually go back to the charts because I already told you guys we're bullish across the board. See if I can pull up the ETH chart real quick on the weekly time frame, and then we'll just wrap it up with that. But honestly, this is the biggest opportunity financially of our lives, and it's flat out, it's just the truth. And I know it sucks if you don't have anything, you don't have money, it's hard to get money. I get it. It really sucks. But it's just the truth. And this is essentially one of the most bullish charts I've ever seen. I actually don't hold any ETH. It's all in Tau because I think that ETH, if it goes up 2x or 3x from here, which I think it will, I think it'll be around 10K probably by May, which is like a 3x. And I think that if that does that, then Tau will, go up 10x, like I said. So let's see if we can map this out. Usually you want to take, let's just say we go from here to here, because then you can take this down to here. So you want to take that and you want to go out. And obviously that's pretty crazy. I don't know if it will do this, but 30K by next, December, January, I wouldn't be surprised because I think I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I think it could get that crazy. Like I said, it's a whole new financial system. We have Tau against ETH. Okay, this is Tau against ETH. Going up against the 20-week SMA, that's a bull market. We just need to hold this level. We have a gravestone, a dragonfly doji at the bottom here. Looks really good, looks really healthy. We're consolidating, and I think we're due for a nice moon. And one Tau, I think by May could equal 0.3 ETH, right? So that would be outstanding essentially, which I think is like 10K ETH and like 3,000 Tau, something like that, right? 12K ETH, 4,000 Tau, something like that. So yeah, I will stop sharing. I know I may sound euphoric. I get it. I get it. But euphoria can last a while. Okay. I was here during the last cycle. I knew I did the same thing then. I was all in, and my portfolio grew from, this time to like May. to be like $100,000. And I fumbled the bag. I fumbled the bag. I continued to buy more. I sold everything to buy more. And then I put it into like Aave and tried to do leverage trading. And I essentially got cut, by 2/3 or something. Almost lost it all, worked my way back and like ended the cycle with like 60K or something. Um, and if I did it correctly, if I knew what I know now, that would not have happened. And I follow these guys at Hedgeye who have tracked, by the way, 2025, they already have a track of what is going to happen. They basically have not, they don't have a quad 4 month. Quad 4 is the only quad that is really bad for crypto, and it always crashes in quad 4. They don't have a bearish month until July 2025, and that's it. There's actually not another bearish month in 2025. So again, this is perfect. That's exactly what happened in 2021. And then we moon to the end of the year, and we know that quarter 4 is always really good for crypto. So we're looking at, again, a repeat of the same cycle. But I think that what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take profit on the first moon, especially for altcoins, because alts never made an all-time high again. Their all-time high was like May of 2021. And then who knows what I could do? I think by that time I take the cash out and then wait for the dip, because who knows, Bitcoin could be 250K, 200K by that time, by like May of this year, easily. I think it will be I'm going to call that 200K April 2025. That's my call for Bitcoin. And if you look at that, I would say we're probably looking at around 10K for Ethereum, 8 to 10K for Ethereum, $4,000 Tau, Optimism, $10 to $15. There's other coins out there, I'm sure, Solana, 1,000, 800 to 1,000. I think ETH will outperform Solana from here, through whenever. I'm an ETH guy at heart. I'm just not a Sol guy, but Sol will do well. AVAX probably goes up pretty well. Not too crazy though. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think it's all going to get priced in right away. People are going to be looking to allocate into this market, especially starting in January, with new funds who have strategized for the past like month or two about, hey, this is a Trump presidency. What sector do we need to allocate towards? Bam, crypto, easy. Everyone's going crypto. That's the easiest one to do. And Barry Silbert started a company that's actually going to support BitTensor subnets, kind of like Consensus for Ethereum, and it's called Yuma because BitTensor has a Yuma consensus. And they have like 40 employees, people, dedicated to all aspects of the ecosystem. This is a real project. This is not a scam. I am not someone who would come on here and tell you to buy, some scam AI token. Okay. I want you guys to do well. And this is the opportunity. And if you're looking for a good investment, again, contact your financial advisor. I am not that guy, but I am going to tell you what I'm doing. And essentially, it's Bitcoin, it's Tau, and I like ETH, but I don't have any. So those are my 3 plays for the cycle. Hope you guys have a great night and stay safe, stay well, stay healthy. Peace.